Ladies and gentlemen, for the last 2 months, for 60 days, I wrote 1,000 words every day, completed a 60,000 word novel. It was a satire. It took place on campus. It addressed the political volatility we're living in right now. It was a couple of professors were feuding, and it dealt with freedom of speech and political correctness, and it dealt with the insane sense of panic that a lot of people feel in the current political environment. And I really thought that because the novel was so timely, that I would sell it. Even though I don't consider myself a novelist, I consider myself more of a short story writer. I'm more of a wind sprinter than I am a long distance runner. I remember telling my wife about this project about 6 weeks ago as I was beginning it, and she said, "Dude, the ship has sailed, man. You're just spinning your wheels." And so the rejections have been coming in from the agents, and I feel kind of ashamed. Number one, that it doesn't look like this thing's gonna sail the way I want it to be. Looks like my wife was right there. And I feel like I was bothering these agents. Like I was a troll, an unwitting troll. I mean, these agents are so busy, they don't have time for some amateur writer. And I started thinking that for me personally, I was really pretty raw when I went to college. Even though I had a 4.0 GPA in high school, I knew nothing when I went to college. I was kicked out of Bonehead English. I had to take pre-Bonehead English. And so when I discovered writing and I became literate, I really established writing as part of my radical identity change. And all my life, I've had this white whale to be published as a novelist, which is a very dangerous thing. I mean, I got published in this literary magazine, a short story, but the editor, he chopped it down to half the size, so that wasn't very satisfying. And after it was published, there were no literary agents interested. And I had to deal with my own sense of irrelevance as someone who likes to write. And so I've been thinking a lot about how we all have this white whale that we pursue, this Moby Dick. We're all Captain Ahab. And for me, the white whale was to be published. But universally speaking, we all have a white whale, I think. And what it is self-validation, being somebody. We want to be somebody. I know we like to come up and wear our watches, Seiko Tuna, blah, 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 and what have you. And I have a friend. He lived his dream. He wanted to be an actor. I went to high school with him. He's about a year or two older than I am. I'm 55. I think he's 57. He never made it as an actor. I mean, he gets little part-time jobs once in a while, and he was so titillated, by this prospect of success. Well, I will tell you, he lives in a cheap hotel in downtown LA. He delivers blood plasma for a living. He used to give massage, but he got arthritis and carpal tunnel syndrome from that. He's lonely. He has no wife and children. He lived his whole life for his dream, and he failed, and he has nothing, and he's ashamed, and he's depressed, and he lives in this crusty hotel. And I'm juxtaposing my current, what appears to be, looks like this book. I don't think it's going to sell now. I mean, these agents, they know what they're talking about. I'm juxtaposing what appears to be my failure with this book project with this dude to make myself feel better, because I have a family. And I don't live in a cheap hotel. I have medical benefits. I have a retirement. I have certain physical comforts. And I'm looking at this dude I went to high school with to comfort me. Is it giving me any comfort? No. No. It's not. No. I feel badly for the guy, and I'm grateful for where I am in life, but it didn't take away that white whale. And so that's one thing I do. The other thing I'll do is I get these rejections. I'll look at the people suffering. People are suffering. Did you know that 75% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck? That's horrible. Does it make me feel better that I'm not one of them? Not really. I still wanted to get that book published. That's how horrible I am. Uh, Look at the people, displaced from these hurricanes in Texas. People swimming, family separated. You really, we use comparisons to make ourselves feel better, but we can't get rid of this white whale. And when I think of this white whale, I think of my favorite television show of all time called Breaking Bad. Walter White wanted to be something so badly. I mean, his family loved him, but he felt irrelevant. And I'll never forget when he was working at the car wash to supplement his income. And he was washing one of his high school students' rims. I think it was a Camaro. And the student, this petulant, spoiled brat, was just rubbing Walter White's face in his misery, going, "Ah, you missed a spot, dude." And I don't know what it is about us human beings, but I think we all have that Walter White moment where we're the dude scrubbing the rims and we want to be somebody. We want to overcome that humiliation. And intellectually, we might know that getting a book deal is a chimera. It's not going to deliver what we expect it to be. For example, probably even if it got published, 99% chance that it wouldn't even sell. It would be a flop. But we can't stop. Once it gets activated in our head that we have to go down that road, we can't stop it. I mean, I should probably quit writing books. I don't think I'm going to quit. I think I'll write another one because I have next summer off. I'm not going to even teach summer school next summer. I know myself. I'll continue down that road. Walter White, I mean, look what he did to become a somebody. He became the danger, for crying out loud. I'm completely fascinated by this idea that even though a lot of us can achieve a certain amount of material comfort, it doesn't erase that disease that we have in us, that disease, that white whale in the horizon, that dream that we can become somebody. It's like it's not enough that we have comfort or that our family loves us. I don't know if it's delusions of grandeur. I'm more likely to think it has something to do with meaning in life. And I do 2 more mentorships at my college to get meaning. And it gives me some meaning that I do these mentorships. And I'm glad I'm being helpful, but it still doesn't take the Walter White factor edge off. It still doesn't take that white whale. Of course I'm glad I'm not like my buddy living in a cockroach-infested hotel. And I wonder if watches, so many of us are obsessed with watches. God, this looks good. Oh my God, I could just sit here now for another 2 hours of this video and just behold the glory of the Seiko tuna. Oh my God, you're killing me, McMahon. And I wonder if watches are a substitute, a sublimation, a proxy for this Walter White factor, this need to be somebody. Maybe the watch represents that. You're wearing the watch in whatever situation you're in, and you're the dude. Everyone wants to be you because you're wearing this. It's insane, and I think a lot of us who have a modicum of sanity know it's insane, but I don't think we can stop it. So that's my big ramble for the day, the Walter White factor. I think I'm going to revisit this. So anyways, I got to go to work, and until next time, I'm out.